plumberparts.co.uk. Honest reviews and advice. Hold tight, and I bet you think that mental plumber bloke's back to tell you more insane stuff about plumbing that's mentally fun. Sorry about the delay from the last video. At the moment, work is completely crazy. So today we're going to look at how you inhibit a heating system if you don't have one of those pressure pumps. This will work for a pressurised system and a gravity system, and it's my little way of doing it. In fact, I prefer to do this. I invented this, actually. This is a Blue Peter moment coming right up. So here we go. Take notice. Oh yeah! This is an old tub of inhibitor. Now, one thing I thought, all inhibitor caps are the same, so this will work throughout. But what I usually do is this. Get myself, you could either use a straight 15mm compression coupling with each side. This is a 15mm compression with a 1/2 inch male thread on the other side. What I've done, I've popped in, if you can see there, a small rubber O-ring on there, on that. Cut a small hole, put that on there, and then, because I didn't have any normal flat nuts like you'd use for, say, a tank insert, I had to use a normal compression nut on there to tighten that up and make that watertight. Then I've put a larger rubber seal in there. Basically that then means that I've got one of these that can go across all different types of inhibitor tubs. Now I can screw it onto the tub. Now what I've done, I've actually got this one tub, it's there all the while, and what I've done is I've cut a bit at the back so then I can pour the inhibitor in there. And the best thing about it is this, I've got myself a little flexible tap connector with a little valve on here that'll go into the radiator, and also a rubber connection on there. That just pops on here like this. Basically we're ready to go. We've got our thermostatic radiator valve here, and then also we've got a lock shield at the other end, so we'll take the cap off that and shut that. I'm shutting the lock shield. And then we're gonna go and dissipate the pressure from the radiator, yeah! Now we're gonna need a wee little tool. Right, so we've got the radiator turned off. Now I'm gonna grab myself a little wee towel, get that around the bottom of your work area, get yourselves a radiator key, and then dissipate the pressure in the radiator. No water should be able to get in now because you've turned off each end of the rad. Right, see, there's hardly any water coming out. Right, so now that we've got this open and the pressure's dissipated, what we do is we go down to the valve and crack the nut that is on the radiator side of the valve. Get a tub under there, and basically what you want to do is let enough water out of the radiator to allow in a tub of inhibitor. So here we go. You might want to put a set of grips on here, just depends. We'll just slack this here, like that, nice and easy. And basically, because we've got our air vent up there open, it will allow water to come out of this radiator. Once you've let out, say, one of these tubs, you'll know then that easily that's going to take a whole tub of inhibitor. So let's let some water out. So there we go. If you know what you're doing, you know, you can control the flow coming out quite nicely and easily catch that inside your little tub. And we're controlling how fast it comes out using our air vent up there, and also how far our nut is slackened off here. Right then, so once we think we've taken enough water out to take our inhibitor, do our nut back up here. Right, so now we've got a radiator that's pretty much empty. There's probably a bit of water in the bottom here, but now we know, because we've got a lovely full tub of water here that's just come out of this rad, that it's easily going to be able to take a whole tub of inhibitor. Now, what I would do is, usually I'd go up the other end, I'd take the bung off there, and I'd put my little contraption in that end. But for ease of cameraing, we're going to undo the bung at that end and put it in this end. The reason you need two bungs at one end undone is if you're going to put our inhibitor in at one end here, we need the air to be able to escape up the other end. Otherwise it will glug, you'll get covered, it'll probably go all over where your willy would be, and it'll look like you've done a wee-wee. And that would be so embarrassing, especially if the customer you're working for is let's say, very desirable. Yeah, I'm just going to undo that bit up that end. I'll be back in a minute. Don't worry, you'll be alright. Think about George, my cat. His name is George, he is a cat. Scrub, 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 scrub. So all I've done at that end is just loosened off the bung, very similar to this, just left it hanging there so air can escape when we pour our inhibitor in. So anyway, at this end, we're going to remove this fully, and then we get our contraption. Got a little bit of PTFE on here. Now just screw this in, just like that. Right, so take this off here, couple of holes. All you got to do is hold this up and pour our inhibitor in. So pouring that in there, no leaks, nothing. It's just going to fall into our radiator. Well, the level of inhibitor is going down. It's just falling into that radiator using gravity. You look, that's just going down there perfectly. So now that's full, we can undo this. Pop our bung back on and shut the air bleed as well while you're at it. Remember to go up the other end of the radiator as well and shut the bung or close the air bleed or whatever, because next we're going to turn the valves on and let water into the system. Now, if you've got an F&E tank, you won't have to do anything. If you've got a pressure tank, to be honest, you might not need to do much, but once you've opened these two valves, you should be able to let the air out of here, and if it's a pressurised system, just top up the pressure, then turn the system all on, and you'll get a lovely load of inhibitor directly into the system without losing any of it. So there you go, you've seen how easy it is to make one of these little beasts. I mean, I think this is a class way of doing it. It definitely beats, if you've got a feed and expansion system whereby you've got a small tank in the loft, definitely beats that kind of way of filling up, because if you go up into the loft, right, and just pour some inhibitor in the tank at the top, it's probably going to stay in the tank, or not a lot of it's going to swish about. And for me personally, I'm happier coming downstairs and popping that right into a radiator, knowing that all the inhibitor that I've bought with my hard-earned cash has gone into that rad and is going to keep my system protected. I mean, it's easy peasy lemon squeezy de boobar. Anyway, I hope this video has been helpful and informative. I hope you've learnt something. Any more questions, visit our website at plumberparts.co.uk. You can sub, is it that side? I don't know. And there's Twitter and Facebook as well, everywhere. Click on those links. Follow us on Twitter. We do loads of photos of all the plumbing disasters you guys have found. And obviously on Facebook, we do loads of stuff on our page there as well. Now, remember to subscribe. Have I said that? It's amazing. Subscribe. And you never know, you might actually get... I want to start sending out. I want Plumber Parts beanie. Would anyone like to have a Plumber Parts grey beanie? 50 quid RRP. Let me know. See you next week's video. Hold tight.
plumberparts.co.uk. Honest reviews and advice.
And obviously for lunch I had like salad. Who rings a man on a block number, eh? Hello? Speaking. Vince, how you doing?